Dallas Cowboys have one of the best offenses in football right now with Dak Prescott and no CeeDee Lamb. Let's keep that in mind as well. But on the opposing side of the football, they have not been great up to this point. However, when they did take on the New York Jets, they were phenomenal. 32 total quarterback pressures, 6 sacks, and just did a really good job forcing that football to come out just a hair early. And one of their biggest offseason additions, I guess you could say, was Dante Fowler, making them a little bit more comfortable to give up a guy like Micah Parsons. Now, on this play, you're going to see Dante Fowler lined up in this 7-eye technique, essentially on the inside shoulder of the tight end. Now, he does a really good job in this play. He's going to plant that left foot into the ground and shift all of the weight onto this tackle's inside leg, okay? So what do I mean by that? You see all the weight gets shifted over to the inside because we act like we're going to get to that side, and then we're going to break it to the outside shoulder of the tackle. Now we have leverage because the weight's on the inside foot. From there, we are going to lower our center of gravity, rip through with our weak side arm or our strong side arm, and get pressure on the quarterback. Now, whenever you can generate pressure on the quarterback, you can force one of 6 different scenarios. On this throw, they do pick up 3 yards, but you can force a bad decision, a bad throw, an interception, a sack, a forced fumble, maybe a holding call on an offensive lineman, right? So getting pressure is crucial if you want to win football games, and the Dallas Cowboys just had 32 pressures in one game. 32! Dante Fowler was a big part of that. So what I wanted to do in this video is break down the defense. I want to show you what these guys can do. And as we progress through the season, I think the numbers are going to get better and better and better. Hit the like button, subscribe for more Cowboy content, and let's just dive into the video. Okay, another really good play. The offensive line is going to be in a full slide to the right side of our screen. They're really trying to sell the play fake to Breece Hall. But with that, we motion over Mason Taylor. He's going to be on a block and release screen to this side of the field as we set up this fake run, trying to get all these second level defenders to kind of overcommit downhill to the run fake. Now, Jadeveon Clowney, the new linebacker over here, does a really good job playing the passing lane. Again, being able to disengage very quickly. I know it is kind of schemed up that they want the tight end to release pretty quickly here, but we do a great job playing the passing lane, right? Look at Jadeveon. Boom, gets his hand onto the football, creates a bad pass into the dirt and deflects it, right? Beautiful job. Now, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys guys, right, the offense is number 4 in the NFL when it comes to points per game scored, right? But on the opposing side of things, they're 29th. Now, a lot of that comes from that Green Bay Packer game, and I do think that this will start to go up as time goes on, but they are allowing 412 yards per game, which is not great. They're about 17th in yards per carry allowed per game, but most importantly, the most important number on this list is right here. They're about 21st in the NFL in QB sack percentage. Now, this doesn't take into account the amount of quarterback pressures that you're going to get, or that you do get, 32 in a game, last game. That doesn't come to this number. This number just talks about how many times can you get a sack, right? What is your sack percentage per game? Now, they had 6 last game. I think they can get better here. Their offensive line has been great, even though they missed 3-4 starters last game. They're still great. There's a lot of good things to talk about this team, but if this defense can get a little bit better, dude, they're going to be terrifying, legitimately. Now, what I love about this team is the amount of different players they have that can generate pressure or get a sack on the quarterback. I mean, all day long, you talk about Osa Odighizuwa or Jadeveon Clowney or Donovan Ezraku or Dante Fowler, or, I mean, you just have Sam Williams. There's so many different guys, Kenny Clark, that can just get to the quarterback. Marshawn Nealon is another one. Right here, they come on 13 personnel. If you guys don't know personnel, we could break it down really quickly. So you can have 11, you can have 21, hell, you could have 31 personnel, right? The first number is always going to represent their running backs in the backfield, and that second number is going to represent the tight ends. You have 1, you have 2, and you have 3 tight ends on the field. You're 13 personnel, and essentially, they really want to sell the run, okay? Get these second level linebackers to kind of overcommit up and maybe find someone over the middle of the field. Now, in this play specifically, I want you to focus in on Osa Odigizua playing on the left side of the center. Now, he is going to do a really good job as they, again, slide their offensive line in this direction, right? They're sliding everybody, but we're going to maintain a one-on-one because this left guard wants to go help out to the outside with Donovan Ezeraku as we kind of just scream, explode through here. Now, the center does a good job getting back out in front, but he rips him off, right? And goes and makes a play. Justin Fields is usually very slippery in the pocket, a guy that can make guys miss in the backfield, right? But on this case scenario, Oso Digizua does not fall for any tricks. Gets him down to the ground. He throws the ball away, but his knee was down. It's over, right? Great job by Osa. This is what you want to see off the full slide. Look at him just kind of manhandle both of these guys off the snap, and then boom, basically rip him off to the side. Great job. He's a guy that I love on the interior of this defensive line to get pressure. Week 6 of the NFL season is officially here, and we have a pretty good Thursday night football game with rookie quarterback Jackson Dart taking on one of the best defenses in football in the Philadelphia Eagles. And with that opportunity is a chance to win over 1,000x hour money. And the best place to do that is Sleeper. And I'm going to show you why I'm going to put myself in a position to potentially do that this week. Before we get into it, look at this, right? If you use my promo code DUBS, they're going to give you a 100% match deposit right away up to $100. So if you put in 100, they're going to give you 100. If you put in 50, they'll give you 50. I mean, honestly, you should do it for that alone. Now, the first thing I want to look at is Saquon Barkley. Coming off a slower game, I think he goes more than 78.5 rushing yards because the Giants rank 29th in the NFL when it comes to stopping the run. They allow like 5.3 yards per carry. Saquon Barkley is going to smash that. I'm also going to take Jackson Dart, and I'm going to go more than 150 passing yards. I feel like they're going to be playing from behind, so I don't mind that at all. A.J. Brown, I feel like he has struggled recently. More than 40 receiving yards isn't too bad. I also do like Theo Johnson as well. And let's see, what do I want to do with Theo Johnson? I guess we can only go touchdowns right now. I'm not going to do that. Wan'Dale Robinson, 25 yards more than. I think that's fair. And if we leave it at that, that is 20 to win 60. Not bad at all. I mean, again, it's not going to 1,000x my money, but it's safe. I think it's fair. But guys, use promo code DUBS. And you'll get a 100 match on your first deposit if you haven't already done so. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. It's currently operational in about 25 different states. So check out Sleeper today if you haven't already done so. Now, you talk about the guys that they've added to this team that can work well off stunts and twists. Well, this is one right here where we are going to stand up James Houston right as a 4-eye, essentially lined up right on the inside shoulder of the tackle. We have Donovan Ezeraku lined up as a 9 technique outside shoulder of the tight end. Now, what we are going to do here essentially is reach point of attack, bounce to the inside. Reach point of attack, bounce inside. Okay, now we are going to reach point and swing all the way around to that C-gap to the outside with James Houston. So this stunt ends up working out really well here. Again, you're going to see both our guys reach points and then break to the inside shoulders. Great job. Now, as we're able to move these guys over, shift them over, you're going to see one guy just not doing anything as James Houston flies off the edge and gets a sack on the quarterback. Poor communication skills by the offensive line, but an even better defensive scheme by the Dallas Cowboys to get not only pressure, but a sack on the quarterback off the edge with James Houston. Great job once again. This defense, I'm telling you, they're smart, and they've got a lot of guys that can rotate in. Same thing here, but now we're going to get a TT stunt. Okay, what does that mean? You're going to get a tackle, stunt. Okay, so essentially, we are going to reach point of attack and then bounce all the way to the inside shoulder of the opposing side guard as we reach point of attack and slide through the A-gap. We are trying to not only move the center, but also hit the guard off his spot to wrap or stunt Kenny Clark in through the A-gap. So this ends up working out really well. Again, we're going to establish our ground on the center as we move to the inside shoulder of the guard. Boom, stunt over. Center doesn't rotate well enough. and we get a sack with James Houston and Kenny Clark also just doing a good job applying the pressure. Now, if you watch James Houston, he takes a very wide approach of this, trying to really force that tackle to stay outside and not help on Kenny Clark. And once he does that, he loops around as well, gets in there. Man, this defensive line is very, very good, man. One more play we'll break down. Dude, we have so much film. They have 32 pressures. This is like play 8 that we're breaking down, play 7 that we're breaking down, maybe even 6. I don't even know. But if you guys want a part 2, let me know in the comments down below. Here's a play where we're going to send an actual blitz. We're going to send him off the edge, one-on-one there, one-on-one there, one-on-one, one-on-one, right? Whenever you can have one-on-ones, if they don't keep a running back in the backfield to block through the A gap or block through the B gap or, you know, chip and release off the outside, there's going to be a lot of problems, right? So right here, you're going to see Sam Williams, number 54, to the left side of our screen. He's going to be on the outside shoulder, kind of in that 4-eye inside shoulder of the tackle. He's going to act like he's going to get to the outside. Guard's going to overcommit, and we're going to swat his inside arm down as we rip through that A gap, okay? So once again, we're going to start on the outside shoulder of the guard. We're going to act like we're going to attack the outside as he overcommits. As we get all the pressure onto the outside leg, we are going to use our strong arm, swat through, and then boom. Easy. Easy. Simple. Love it. They've got talent. They have stars emerging on this defensive line, whether you talk about Osa, or you talk about Dante Fowler, or you talk about Sam Williams, or James Houston. Jadeveon Clowney's getting better. He's getting more acclimated. Donovan Ezeraku, right? Marshawn Nealon. These guys are just doing a good job when they get into the game. So let me know what you guys think. You also have Solomon Thomas, who's playing a lot as well. He had 2 pressures. Osa had 5. James Houston had 5. Donovan Ezeraku had 4. Dante Fowler had 6 pressures. Jadeveon had a couple. Sam Williams had 2. Yeah, we're going to see how this continues to progress, but I love the way this defensive line looks right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in part 2. Peace.